G'day everyone and welcome to episode 70. That's right, 70 episodes in, and we're right near the end. I cannot wait to finish this and get this into your hands. But first of all, we just got to finish up this little front area where this is pretty much where I wanted to spend the most amount of time, as I've pretty much got the rest of the ride worked out now. I've pretty much decided on where everything's going to go and how all our ride's going to be edited and changed around. If you've seen from the thumbnail, this video is pretty much going to be about the sequencing of the final splashdown. Now, a lot of people would have thought that I would have done that last, but as I've said in previous videos, I really wanted to nail this as best as I could to try and set the benchmark for myself moving forwards of what it's going to be like. So yeah, this is sit back and relax over the next half an hour or so. This will just be pretty much just me doing a voiceover for the 70th episode, just to celebrate with you guys, and yeah, look forward to what's coming up very soon. I'll leave timestamps in the video because this is pretty much just the gardening part, and then the sequencer part comes up where it's no longer fast forwarded. So just finding some random stuff for the front of the garden there now, which is kind of hard to work out how to do, as this is kind of elevated in the real park. So I knew I had to do something sort of creative, sort of something different. Obviously, with our park being just one level the whole way, this is pretty much the first time in the whole park where I've really played with the terrain tool, mainly because of just the limitations of it. Like it's very hard to get like a proper angle and stuff like that, and that's fair enough. So I knew I wanted to continue the rock work along the mountain, as I knew it would draw the line of sight to make that mountain look just that even a little bit bigger from when you stand down near the end. And I wanted to put our geysers that is normally in the switchback section after the first drop out here. So this is one of the big changes that I'm making in my park. Is this part here will be designed to constantly be spraying water. It alerts guests when a car's about to come down. I set it to where as soon as the car gets to the top of the lift hill, the geyser starts to go off, obviously spraying guests, getting that mist ready, and then when they come out, we'll obviously set up the final sequence of stuff when we get to it. So I knew I wanted to have sort of this bubbling water as if it's still active, just because I feel like that corner of the park is literally only for going and watching the ride come down and splash everyone. So I thought what would be really cool is if it was constantly going off and wetting guests, and it's kind of like how our Killer Croc area back in the DC area was designed to keep the guests entertained whilst you're not riding, because I know a lot of my family members that don't ride rides, they only go there to enjoy the park itself. It would be funny if you told them just to stand there and then they got drenched. But let me know what you guys think down below. I think it adds to the ride a little bit. Instead of this being this boring section, it kind of adds something different to it, which obviously means I have something very special planned for when we get to that section of the ride. So that is probably my biggest warning towards it, is you will see a lot of changes from the real ride. Obviously adding my own Planet Coaster touch to it, kind of the same as we did for the Scooby-Doo ride. I will be taking my own liberties to try and just have fun with it, because that's all that this game is about. It's so much fun just to sit here and play, and I love getting the feedback from you guys, but then I also love that you will be able to do whatever you want now. Like I've seen a lot of people are now recreating this park, and it's so cool to see that maybe I had a hand in starting that little spark to get them going. So I really wanted to show here the sequence that I go through in creating little bits like this. Obviously, if you've seen any of my other videos with the lighting shows that I do, and like the DEF CON and the KDA festivals and stuff like that, a lot of work goes into the sequences. I feel like I'm at a point where I've really got the sequences dialed in and working properly. So yeah, this is pretty much what you're going to see for the next half an hour, is me trying to sort out the splash, getting the splash right, and then just chatting away as we go. So this part was hard to get right because the frame rate itself was very hard to keep track of, with the park being as big as it is now. Adding too many water jets didn't crash my game, but it did lag it out every time a boat would go through it. So I knew that going into this ride there is going to be maybe 1 or 2 more sections where guests can get really wet, and then other parts of it will pretty much just be coasting around. Like I can't really talk about it without showing it. It's hard for me to talk about them things. So there's a good shot of the little tiny building up the top, so I didn't really show that in the last episode of how I built that. So it's literally just tiny pieces that I found and just randomly put stuff together, and the closer you get to it the more good it looks, but the further away you get it looks amazing. This is just me trying to wait for a boat to come around again, because hey, it's great when you're doing a sequencer, but it sucks when you're trying to work out things, and then also obviously I get distracted and think like I can't wait to see that when it's finished. But yeah, I think them doors work so well. Like, I wish they were a little bit smaller, but hey, we'll make it work. So obviously the ride system itself has a water splash feature already set into it. So I knew going into this I wanted to first create a bigger splash, so that if you were walking around that corner and you seen one of these rides come down and splash, you might think twice about getting on this ride without either a poncho or realizing you're about to get drenched. And then also with the lip there, I wanted to do kind of like a little waterfall thing whenever a ride would go over it. I remember seeing one Planet Coaster creation of someone did a pier or something like that. It must be a famous pier in America or England or something like that, but they did waves with just these little things, and it was so cool to see that they created a whole like wave system just with a sequencer and some water jets. So I didn't go to that extent. You'll see a little bit later, but yeah, it's cool to see what other people are creating in this game. So this is pretty much just designed to, if you want to mute me, you can mute me just to see how I do my sequences. I just know a lot of people have asked me to finally show like how I do stuff, so you'll see that it's chaotic, it's all over the place, it's not perfect. Even I struggle with it sometimes, trying to get the sequencer to work properly, but I feel like after doing so many lighting shows, I've really got it down packed of working out the easiest way to cheat, essentially, Planet Coaster. But this is, it's tedious, but like if you just take your time with it, you will get it down packed. So I knew I initially had it at, it was just going a little bit too fast with the jet. I really wanted to drag out that splash, as if they purposely put jets in the water just to really drench guests. So I know they have a couple in here, but I really wanted a just something to really mess with them. Like, it'd just be funny to see someone walking through the park. So say like you're walking towards this ride and you see someone getting off it, getting out of the exit, and they are just saturated. Would you really get on that ride in that moment if you've seen that? Or even if it was like maybe the front row gets drenched in the back row, like just watching people fight over what seat to take it'd be very funny. But I pretty much approach these rides. I approached them as if Movie World had come to me and said, hey, we love our ride, but we need it to just be a little bit better. Can we edit it? And it's a really fun way to approach rides when you're building them in Planet Coaster. That's how I've done most of the rides in this game, is if you could improve them a little bit or even take away some of the things that they have in there. So the switchback section, I know has never been working when I've been on the ride. I've only seen it working in YouTube videos of the geysers blowing off and drenching you, or maybe even when you go through the town at the end, that's when you'll see people getting actually wet. So here's another key thing, sorry, while I get distracted, is I like to pause and play a lot when I'm doing my design. So you'll see it'll get to one section, I'll be literally watching to see when it triggers. My only word of advice here is don't have the jets hidden underneath the water. It's a lot harder to see how that it's only hitting the water now. That might be 2 meters, 3 meters underground before it even hits that thing. So you've got to anticipate that you will move these things around after you finish doing the sequencing, and it might not match up when you finally angle a water jet or twist something a different way, and then all of a sudden everything's out of water again. So it's cool to see, but also like, oh my god, look at that you would be saturated sitting there. Even like sitting there watching it on that fence line would be so funny. I set up little, what are they called in the game, like viewpoints. So it'll be interesting to see if guests walk all that way just to take a photo of the ride and stuff like that. I'm working really hard on getting this more compacted. So you'll probably see over the next couple of episodes that I'll build something really big, then I'll shrink it down as much as I can. So I know a lot of the rest of the ride is buried underground at the moment, mainly because it was too hard with the landscaping that I was trying to do to try and get things in order. But I feel like I found a nice balance of rock work and actual landscape with the dirt texture, just to blend it in a little bit more. So see, this is the problem that I'm having now, is now that I actually want to move my jets, it's very hard to find where they are in the ride itself. So separating them into their own building really helps, and then obviously moving them out and away from being underneath everything really helps, because then it just helps you nail the timing down just that extra little bit. So I know this will probably trip a lot of people out of how I do things, because I just think everyone's different. Everyone has their own way. You'll find your own way. Don't let like how I do things discourage you from doing your own sequences. Just know that it's not really complicated when you get down to it. Setting the times is, but yeah, don't let it overwhelm you. You'll be fine. A lot of people are still recreating this park alongside me, and I cannot wait to see what other people are doing. I always check the workshop and find all like different creations that are in the parks. There's a lot of different rides for Movie World now. There's a lot of different rides for SeaWorld that I'm seeing, a couple of different rides. I've always remember as a kid being absolutely terrified of the Bermuda Triangle from SeaWorld. If you're not from Australia, SeaWorld is not that far from Movie World. We have pretty much free parks down here of SeaWorld, Movie World and Dream World that are all pretty close to each other on the Gold Coast. I'm not from Queensland, so I don't really get to go up as much anymore, but it was always like a family holiday destination. Pretty much for everyone here, that's our Disneyland. So yeah, so SeaWorld's kind of moving now into more rides. Like I cannot wait to go and ride the Leviathan. I think that what they've done with the screens and the theming of that ride is so well done. I don't know how it's going to hold up in the long run, mainly because of just like, yeah, I don't know. It's a weird wooden coasters are always weird to me. I always feel like they're broken down a lot of the times, and it's hard to plan a holiday around that sort of stuff. So I am trying to plan a holiday now to go up and visit the parks. As I said in the last video, hopefully when this whole thing is finished, I'll be able to go up and actually look at parts of the park where I've missed and can go back in and do it properly. But then, yeah, it'll also be fun just to have fun and enjoy actually being in the theme parks. But I suppose I should say thank you for 70 episodes, really. It's only the real OG people that will probably stay till 15 minutes into this video, and you know who you are. That you come back every episode, even the weeks when I've missed an episode or done something crazy. You've always stuck with this and you really want to see it to the end, and like I really do appreciate each one of you. Like it does help when I'm lacking that motivation, when I'm sitting there completely overwhelmed with I don't know what to build, I don't know what to create. Like it's hard. I do sit there sometimes and just stare at the screen and then end up scrolling on my phone and then just end up turning off Planet Coaster because it can be pretty daunting. But it is you guys that have encouraged me to just create how I want to create, because that's what I've really struggled with this whole build, is trying to please everyone. But then it was pretty much you guys that have always said, just do you, like we are loving how you're creating it. Wow, that is just, it's just so weird to sit back after, because like when you build, you're in a weird mindset where you're just like building, just like flicking numbers here, going crazy. I'm normally listening to music. I don't normally listen to the Planet Coaster soundtrack. That's why I've really stopped leaving the Planet Coaster sound in the game, because I just turn it all off. It's just pointless to me to leave that all in. I am working on a video for just these episodes, but not sped up. So it's just going to be one massive episode. I think I'm at like 72 hours now of footage for everything we've done up to this episode. So I don't know how I'm going to render that video. I might just do like, say, like episodes 1 to 10 and then have it as like a 12-hour video or 10-hour video. But I really, it'll obviously be not non-commentary. Like I'm struggling to sit here and speak now. Like it's very weird. But that'll probably be my my thank you to you guys of just actually seeing how things are built in real time without being sped up or fast forwarded or skipped or nothing. It'll just be literal every build thing done and put in there perfectly. So sorry for my chair, she's a bit squeaky while I try and get comfortable. How are you enjoying winter? Winter's a bit cold down here, I'd have to say. It's been very interesting going back into winter. What am I doing now? I can't remember. Oh, that's right. I angled these way too far, so I quickly had to like change them. The splash was just a little bit too crazy for what we were doing. So it was fun to just reel that in and come back to, okay, this is more simple. So the more I edited, the more I was like, look, let's just get back to basics of what we're doing. So I don't think I've done a shot of how them rocks are helping the sight lines. So I've been watching a lot of what's that Imagineering show on Disney, just about how they've been creating, or how they created Disney. There you go, look at that shot. Whoa, damn, see that tiny building on the top helps so much. Like it just creates that extra level of depth. But I've been watching the Imagineering show on Disney, and that's been really like helpful to see, just not how they've cheated, I should say it's more like how they trick your eyes. Like I remember when I went to Disney, then I went to Orlando, and that was fun. I obviously went by myself, so it was very interesting to be by yourself at Disneyland, but or Disney World, sorry. But just the level of detail to parks was very interesting to come back and see, like Movie World and SeaWorld, after I'd seen Disney World and Universal, and like it's only now that I'm seeing them realize that they are still competing with parks like that. So I really seen the Leviathan and that level of detail to the ride. Sure, it might have costed them a lot more money, but man, the theming of that ride is just spot on. It's so good. So hopefully that's what SeaWorld needs to get back into it. I do worry about Movie World though. I've said it in a previous video. It is a little bit controversial to say, but surely they had a better IP than the Wizard of Oz, because I do not feel like that is something that not only will be sustainable, but it's more, say like I asked my nieces and stuff like that, have you ever watched The Wizard of Oz? It's always been no. So it's also that re-education of that movie. Like I remember when we went to Movie World last, Dorothy and Toto and like the Tin Man and all that came out, and they had no idea who they were. It was weird to them. So to me, it's a weird choice. I don't know what else they could have done really, but we'll see how they pull it off and re-educate it. Maybe they have a secret movie in the works that they are planning to bring out very soon, which will coincide with the park opening. But who knows with that. But I just feel like, say you look at it now, like I watch what people are saying online, and a lot of people online are saying how they're going to visit the park. They're going to visit the parks now, and a lot of the rides are closed. Scooby-Doo's down for at least another year, probably longer. Doomsday's now been put on the chopping block of that's going to go. Superman Escape is just finished its refurbishment, or not refurbishment. I think they just painted it and cleaned it up a bit. DC Rivals is getting a paint job. That doesn't open until June. So it's, I know we're in the school holiday, the off-peak season, but I just feel like what's going to fill that Doomsday hole? Like, what could they put in there? Because I know from, I think I follow theme parks online. I think that's what they're called on Facebook. I'll look it up in the background while I'm talking to you guys. But yeah, they're reporting on the Wave Runner that's been moved to the little area inside of, what's it called? Superman Escape. And like, that's all cool and stuff like that. Like it looks great. I don't know how it's going to work. It'll be weird, but it'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting to see when it gets done, of how that fits into that area. I don't know how they're going to theme it. I said in the last video it'd be cool if it was like maybe like a Wonder Woman thing, or like they repainted it like that. Like it looked, I'm more thinking of like it looking cool with the blue and then maybe the gold in the background would look nice. But then I just don't get the ride vehicles. Just, it stumped me. Anyways, I don't know. I feel like that would have been a better suit for where Doomsday is. I know they are desperately in need of a Harley Quinn ride. The popularity of Harley Quinn, they really need to capitalize on that and have something in the next ride for that Doomsday area. Needs to be Harley Quinn. It's got to be something crazy. It's got to be something awesome. Could they go another thrill ride? What do you reckon? I don't think they could go another thrill ride. It kind of has to be a little bit more tame, but hold more riders. I just don't think Doomsday worked. I think me and my brother went on that once when we went, and then yeah, I don't know, it made me feel sick. So I was like, no, not doing that again. I don't know about you, but yeah, you pretty much just stick to, like, what do? You pretty much just go there now. You'll do a loop. I know last time I went, this was closed, so it was pretty much going around, jumping on Scooby-Doo. Last time I went, it was completely gutted. I think this is a long time ago now, so maybe 5 or 6 years. This is when they completely gutted the building. Remember when you went on the start platform was all themed, then you went and it was like it was pitch black, but you could see, and they still had like where the track layout was and like all the animatronics were there, but they had nothing around them. It was a weird time to be riding that ride. Hopefully they got the whole ride and then replace it with something like what I built. That'd be really cool. They need another cool roller coaster. I think I said in the other video, I don't think we have an indoor roller coaster in Australia. Now that I think of it, no. I remember when I went to Universal, I paid a little bit extra, as you should, to get the Fast Pass ride. And I remember I would ride the Mummy ride, which is a launch coaster, get off, run around, straight back into the single rider line, bam, bang, 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 just over and over again. I loved it. That's what I really think they need in that building, is just something with just really tight corners, great like atmosphere of it's just a fun ride to sit on there. Doesn't need to have loops, doesn't need to have anything, but it still have that dark ride aspect. And I think that would really work inside of that building. Even if you extended it into the show building for where that DC theming area is, it's I don't know how that yeah, weird. It's weird. Sorry, my brain is just in between watching what's happening here and trying to talk to you guys. Of like, you'll see here, always think ahead. And I wasted so much time doing the individual sprouts then of them little waterfall things, and then I just found this nice little waterfall piece, top of the waterfall I think it's called, and it just works so much better than what it is. It was so much better on my frame rate whenever a ride would come down and it'd go over it. So yeah, that helped out a lot as well. But yeah, this is pretty much like coming to the end of the video. Do you guys like that little section there with the little dam bit that's broken out? It's kind of weird to look at now without the water in, but that's pretty much how I've seen it every time I've gone up there, so I'm completely fine with it. But what were we talking about? I can't remember. My brain's just fried. Getting up to much this weekend? Got anything planned? I've got to go to work. Can't wait. So excited. Driver Beef just finishing off this ride and getting it done, but obviously can't. The next part of this ride will be, I think, just after the first lift hill is what I'm going to go for next. Probably won't start filming that until Sunday. I think that's my next free day. If you are new to this channel, that is pretty much how I film my videos. I will sit there for a couple of hours and play, edit the video and upload it. I normally film on a Sunday, upload Monday, film on a Thursday, upload Friday. Or lately, just put it all together into one video on a Monday. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I'm trying my best, guys. So now you're going to see me re-edit all of this again, as I found this to be an easier way. I really could have fast forwarded this whole video, but I hope you guys are enjoying it. We are about to hit our 30-minute mark for the video. So now is probably the time to start talking about our secret project. Now that only the OGs are left, I do have a surprise for you guys as episode 70. Now, a couple of episodes ago, I was a bit sus on, well, not sus is the word. I was trying to see if people watched all the way to the end of a video. Like, I know there's some of you guys I know used to watch till the end, but I think it's only like 2% of the people that watch my videos watch it all the way to the end. So you are part of the 2% being this far, so it is time to reward you for being part of the 2%. I have kept up with a theme of releasing something every 10 episodes. I didn't want to advertise it this one because I knew this was going to be a long video, so and I didn't want to put it at the end because some people just skip to the end. That's what normally the YouTube thing shows. So a couple of weeks ago I asked just to say your favorite color, and it was the most funniest thing when I was at work and I just started getting YouTube comment, and it was just people saying their favorite colors and stuff like that, and it was cracking me up. Like it was perfect just to know that just the OGs were watching and still just know that it made my day. It was so funny. So in order to reward you guys, I will be uploading this ride vehicle. It's, well, what do you call it? Ride blueprint with nothing on it. So you're pretty much going to see the final product before anyone else, but with no theming. So it'd be really cool if you could have a look, maybe give me some pointers on what you want to see, well, maybe even if you just design your own and then just show me what you came up with would be cool. So what can I upload it as? Something funny. That's what I will upload it as. I will upload it as my favorite color. It will be on the workshop under the name of my favorite color. It'll be completely random. I suppose it'll only be if you're friends with me on Steam or that you'll see it. No, maybe not. I'm not sure. But it will be secretly uploaded as my favorite color if you have made it this far in the video. Download it, check it out, have a look if you want to. Yeah, just let me know what you think. So I won't attach any of the rock work or nothing like that. I might just stick with the empty ride vehicle itself. Just for you to have a look. I don't know. I had nothing else that I normally plan ahead and just have something sort of there for the ride itself. I don't know if I'd be able to get this down to 4,000 pieces at the end. Maybe that's something I aim for. That'd be pretty cool to upload this at the workshop. But then I've got to think of the people would have to do the terrain work, wouldn't they? Yes, well, that's something to think of, isn't it? Yeah, this is pretty much just finishing it off now. So this will be my final touches on the ride. I do like to zoom in and out a lot, as you've probably noticed. See, that's what. Oh no, maybe I'll just leave that because I really want to get into the back part of this ride. I was just going to say I'll start on the entrance building, but the entrance building is so hard to find pictures and video of the interior. So it's really hard for me to want to stay true to what's there, but then also you can't if there's nothing there. I don't know. Maybe I'll find something one day of. I know that most of the people with the POV videos start it when they're getting on in the station. So there's a couple of shots like that, but there's nothing like, oh, here's us walking from the entrance into it, or here's the standby lane, or here's the overflow, or here's the exit. Man, that's going to be so fun to hide all that. Can you hear the sarcasm in my voice? Should be alright. Hopefully. But this is pretty much it. The end is near for this park. I really believe I'll get this done before 100 episodes. Hopefully 100, number 100 is when we release it. I don't know, surely maybe another 10, because we got the first lift hill station. I suppose you can count the first lift hill as that first little area, first drop. Then it'll be where the old geyser part is. Then it wraps around, it does like a little lap around underneath a train bridge. Don't know if I'm going to do the train or not, I'm still unsure. Then we go into the town, Then we go back up the lift hill and then into that top section there. So I'm at about 9, maybe 10 episodes into getting this done. Yeah, that sounds good. So that gets us to 80. And then it'll just be pretty much finishing. Oh man, I keep forgetting about the chocolate factory. I've got to go back the other way. Then I'll probably just be doing the backstage area. Still unsure on the Scooby-Doo ride. I might implement that new entrance part that I've been building off camera in the background there. Probably seen it every couple of times. But yeah, then we got to finish just little bits and pieces. But in my head, we should have it done before 100. 100 should be the release, realistically. I don't know. I might have a shit time. But this is pretty much me trying to find a thumbnail. Oh man, that would have been a better shot now that I think of it. But I know I wanted to get all the water. Anyways, you've probably already seen the thumbnail really. But I suppose I should say thank you very much for watching. Thank you so much for sticking with the channel. 70 episodes. It's really weird to think of when I was filming episode 1 that we get to this point, but here we are. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for sticking with this channel. I appreciate every single one of you that watches this and comments and likes and shares and does everything. Check out one of these videos, but most importantly guys, have a great day. Thank you so much. You're amazing.